What I have noticed as an Indian standard time we maintain, we start late. So we are a little bit late and we all are a little tired, but let's bear it to learn something good about ATOMY product. Yeah. And thank you for the Honorable Director and the team for giving me this time to explain about the journey of the ATOMY product that I have used. And the first thing about ATOMY which I have learned is from my family friends. Way back 2017 when it was about to launch in India, I came to know through some friends, but I was working so busy and I was staying in Bangalore. Our family was staying in Bangalore at that time. So I didn't give any interest on that and I just leave aside. But in 2020, at the end, I came across about ATOMY product, especially the toothbrush and the toothpaste. And I came home to Nagaland from Bangalore in month of March for a marriage, so I got as a gift from my families the toothpaste and the toothbrush. And from there, my kids, two of my kids love it. My husband also started using it, so we all were so much in love with the toothpaste, especially again the toothbrush. My kids love to use that because the colors also is very unique. Huh? Not so decorative, but it's just very crowned looking color. So they were so much in love with that. And then when I was working as a school teacher, so I was quite busy, but when the pandemic started and the lockdown happened, somehow I was working through online. But I got so tired and my work was too much because my husband is in ministry and I have two kids. Who is the younger one is a kindergarten and the eldest one is just in the primary section. So my work was too much. So I told my organization that I will stop for the online classes because I cannot manage my home to take care of my kids and to take care of my family. So let me just stop until this pandemic or the lockdown got over. And after that, I will join back. That's what I have decided. And in 2020, at the most end of the year, through some friends, our ma'am Aienla, she started calling me. And it was about the product to come from Korea to Bangalore. So in that lockdown of pandemic, when a Korean parcel is coming to my home, even the delivery guys was little bit different, okay, and they were just, it's written in the Korean and all the Korean products they know as a custom they know, so they just used to come till our door and we were having all those conversations of the fees and you do this, all that. So we were just doing it, all those things, and slowly I came to know about Hemohim from there. And frankly speaking, I am a mother of two and I am a C-section mother. Both the children are C-section. So I have some health issues. Somehow because of working, my body I keep busy and active. That's why my weaknesses, my veins or my nerves, my joints, whenever it get pains, I try to work more. And I just try to manage by myself my health. But when suddenly this lockdown happened, I always sit at home. And my body was always in relaxed mood. So it started to, the body ache was starting more. And sometimes I cannot stand even for 5 minutes. If I sit down, I cannot stand by myself. I have to hold something and stand by myself. All that I was struggling. But I never told to anyone and I was just trying to manage by myself. But in 2021, in the middle of a year, when the second lockdown was happening, my health was becoming very bad. And it all affected even in my period cycle also. And I have that symptoms from before. But in the month of May, June, I was almost, when I get the monthly cycle, my half body was almost going to paralyze. Huh? I can't get up, I can't move, I can't lay down. I was in that state. So at the time, my younger sister, she's lab technician here, so I told her, take my blood and get a blood test done. What is there in my body, I want to know now. So she took my blood and she took the test in the lab. And clinically, she told me that you are an anemia patient because my hemoglobin was too down. So in that, she started advising me to have the tablets, the vitamins, which I don't like to have it. And I can't swallow that much big tablets, that's the vitamins. So I was trying not to have that. And I myself log in the YouTube and I check about the product of Hemohim because it has mentioned hemo. So I'm weak of hemoglobin. So I start digging it. And somehow I got the idea and I called up our ma'am and we were having more conversation time to time. So I told her, I have that problem. And then she said, why don't you try Hemohim? That's what I was about to ask you. That's what we discussed and she allowed me to have a taste of Hemohim for a 1 month course. She told me, you just take out and try to start using it. So I start using that, and from that very first month, I feel my body has changed. Because always I have a pain. In my shoulder, in my knee, and in my back, there is always a pain, but somehow it all goes away. And slowly when my monthly cycle comes, at that time also, the first day was like a life, how do I explain? Just like it's going through a hell of life stage, nah? But when I start having that Hemohim, from the very first month, I don't feel any pain in my back or in my stomach or in my legs. I just became so normal. So I was really happy and I told Imam also that I'm really happy and pleased about this Hemohim and I will try to continue to have it. That's what I have started taking, and from last month again, my parents also, they are elderly. Actually, I am from Mogokchung and I stayed in Bangalore as a family for 20 years and we relocated to Dimapur in this year, January only. So my parents is in the Mogokchung and they are all age, so they are almost bedridden last month. But as a gift of Father's Day, I sent them a set of Hemohim for them to let them try. And now, this morning also I called my mom and asked about how it's doing by the medicine and by the supplement, and they said it's very good because my mom, she have a problem of knee pain and back pain and she can't walk for long distance. All those pains has reduced. And my father also, he was almost to be hospitalized, but he started working. So I really encourage, even though we think that this Hemohim is very expensive, it's not expensive at all. Because our health is the most important thing. If you have a good health, the wealth will come to you. So please try to have it. I know many of us, it's too expensive, we just ignore it, but our health is more important. And as a ladies and as a women here, when we enter to 50 and 40, we need to start taking care of ourselves by ourselves. Don't depend and don't wait for others. But try to understand your body and know the condition of your body instead of going for some clinical or medical, whatever the stores, provisions of the medicines. Let's try to take Hemohim because it helps me and it recovers me my overall health. When I'm in a stage or when I stand in front of a people, after 5 minutes, when I go back to my place, I feel so exhausted or I feel so tired. But till now, after the Hemohim from last year, I don't have that kind of sickness. So it's very helpful and I encourage every one of you to have it and try it before but before a big sickness started, from a small thing, let's try to maintain our health. That's the only thing I want to say. Thank you so much for giving me this privilege.